Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Kimbo here. It's time for an epic discussion video. I just finished watching the show, and I'm like, I immediately need to make a video. So, yeah, I might say, Spin Master, please watch this in the title of this because, yeah, this is really important stuff. So, the latest episodes of Bakugan Armored Alliance have dropped, dude. We had episodes 43 and 44, man. So much to talk about just with these two episodes. So, first of all, you don't want spoilers of anything. You have 5 seconds to click away out of respect. So, yeah, man. But first things first, I love the development they've been doing throughout this season and such, especially showing off how fusions and such work, all the development with the Awesome Brawlers, a bunch of characters even coming back from like the first season and such, and continuing their storylines as well, and introducing obviously evils like Havoc. But, oh man, this is the part of the season where things go nuts and we're getting it. Alright, so, episode number 43. It was honestly a feel-good one. It was a really fun one. So there was like a hamburger eating competition, and whoever won that competition got free hamburgers for a year. Well, a year's supplies worth of hamburgers. But yeah, it basically came down to Dan and Winton. A bunch of them entered, but Dan and Winton were the last two, and then Sophie and her group show up in the middle of it, and then she launches out Claptor Apollyon. They're both still sitting there eating because they don't want to lose. It was kind of funny seeing them ignore her. But yeah, then, Drago and the others getting into the battles. They're still both sitting there eating, but then they go after the burger joint itself, and then Winton saves Dan, and because of that, well, Dan technically does win it because Winton stopped and his burger hit the floor, so he technically lost because of that. But then Dan won, and then he shared it with Winton, so they both get a year's supply of burgers. So that was a feel-good episode for sure. And then the next one being basically Storm and Ajit back together again. We get to see them together again. They're not obviously on the same side because Storm's still under the influence of Havoc, and Ajit obviously being with the Awesome Brawlers now. But then they have to work together because there's this guy that traps them in a room and tries to take all of their treasures and such. But then Ajit explains how he gave them all back to people, after the Bakugan Battle League and such, all those events. And the guy doesn't believe them, locks them in a room basically with no way out. And then Storm, when he took like what they had on them, Storm released the gas, and then he acted like it was, sleeping gas, and then they were both out, and then they obviously opened the door to make sure they're okay and such, and he was like, "You're foolish," and then they both run out, like, that was my device. I purposely had it so it sprayed so that you'd come in here and open the doors, you suckers, but yeah. They both escape, and then we get a cutscene between Ajit and Storm. So obviously paying homage to, the Phantom Thief and his pupil those days. And then Storm saying the next time that we meet, basically he's going to end him. Yeah, it was pretty wild. But seeing that small little moment between them, that was kind of cool. Seeing them work together. But then obviously it seems like Ajit's gonna save Storm and such from the control of Havoc, and then Storm will probably come back over to the side of good with things. So it's definitely building to that. So that was everything for episode 43, but episode 44 is where things start hitting the wall, and yeah, Spin Master. The storytelling, I absolutely love it. It's great, and this build-up has been awesome, and we get to the epic madness for the remaining part of this season. That being, we see Havoc's tower. He's able to like teleport and such. And down in like the basement of the tower, we see the true form of Havoc. So the design that we see whenever he's like taking control of someone, that's actually imprinted on his face in shadow. And then he has like this crazy hair, all this crazy power coming off of him. Like his actual design is kind of like humanoid-ish, but like it's freaky. It's honestly kind of freaky. Yeah, go and see the episode. You'll know exactly what I mean. But what he's doing is working on his final experiment. Well, his big time experiment, and that being the creation of Sabra, but it's called Sabrus. He calls it Sabrus. So he has created Sabrus, man, aka Sabra. Oh man, it's got the power of 5 factions within it. It's a fusion Bakugan. It is a fusion Bakugan itself, like the ultimate fusion Bakugan. And then afterwards, he starts just going on a tear in town. And then meanwhile, the Awesome Brawlers, they're all at their hideout, and they're all arguing. Well, the Bakugan are arguing. They're all arguing over what to watch on TV and such. And it was honestly a really, really funny segment. It's awesome because they're tying in like the humor and having that crazy humor and such, but also this crazy ominous over looming thing that's about to happen. Definitely love the build up for it. But then they start all watching TV and watch a bunch of different things, and then they're in the middle of watching a show, and basically they look at Dan because the TV's starting to mess up. But then Dan's like, "It's not me," and he starts changing the channel, still messing up, and then Leah gets, I think, it was Leah that got a message saying that there's a Bakugan going on a rampage in town. And then they obviously go to it, see what's happening, and they get to meet Sabrus. And then Havoc's sitting there joking about it the whole time. He's like, "It's Sabrus' first birthday! But you're not invited to the party. We're going sightseeing." And then he starts going around and just breaking a bunch of different areas, well, mainly big time tourist attractions, and it's awesome because he's just leaving his mark on all, literally his mark, like he's destroying the spots and then leaving his obvious his signature face motif at all the spots too. So it's giving its havoc, and then they figure out that he's going to all the biggest spots. They meet him at the last one, which is the Bakugan Stadium, and all the Awesome Brawlers are there, dude. Now, this is what we need to talk about. This is what we need to talk about big time. First of all, they all had their fusion Bakugan, like including Drago Auxiliator, Pharaoh Gillator, like the strongest of their fusion forms. Leah's the only one that didn't have one, and that's obviously because Goreen is in the maze. Arliss Bakugan Goreen is in the maze, not there directly with them. But Sabrus faces all of them. They're all joining their power together, their fusion attacks. Sabrus launches an attack. It looks like it's a really close match, and then it just overpowers all of their Bakugan, dude. 3 of them fainted. Drago Auxiliator and Pharaoh Gillator were the only 2 left, and Drago Auxiliator had like 200 Bs left, and Drago Auxiliator had 200 Bs left, and Pharaoh Gillator had 100 left. And that, oh my lord. Sabrus is just as powerful in the show as expected, man. It just took out all the Awesome Brawlers, basically, by itself. It's a monster. It's definitely the build-up to the ultimate evil with this season. Havoc has the first piece, and it's crazy, dude. But the thing we gotta talk about, even besides that, Spin Master, this is where you come in. I'm gonna get comfy for this one. A new golden Bakugan shows up. A brand new golden Bakugan shows up. And literally points its hand out and launches freaking Sabrus back into the stadium. Knocks it out. And Havoc was shook. He's like, "This guy's amazing." Well, Sabrus is tired for today. And it was wild, man. And then the golden Bakugan turns around and looks at the Awesome Brawlers. And that's where we're at, man. The rest of the season, I was already big time hyped about it, seeing Sabra come in, or Sabrus come in. But also this golden Bakugan. The name for it apparently is Gorillion, or Gorillion. Yeah. I hope we don't get the Tico treatment. Spin Master, please, for the love of Lord, make this a Bakugan. I know it might be like triggering it to where it has this much power, so maybe it's this Bakugan joining with Drago that makes Dragonoid Infinity, or at least a big step to getting Dragonoid Infinity. But we definitely need to see a figure of this, man. Like, I want, like, the design of it already, seeing it from literally a small segment of one episode. It's probably, if not my favorite, one of my favorite Bakugan that's not fused. Obviously, that being like Sabra, like, or Sabris, Sabra. Yeah, it's my favorite fusion Bakugan for sure. And when it combines with Pyravian, we see how strong it is now. We see how strong this thing is now, but imagine it with the power of Pyravian for the last faction that he needs power wise. It's insane, dude. And that's how he gets the Arliss. Yeah. Gorillion, Spin Master, please make it. Like Gorillion, like I wouldn't care if like I'd love it if they did like something that they did in the past where they put out like a Bakugan in only one pack and it's like a 3-pack, like how they did with the Hydronoid Evolution set. We only saw the single-headed Hydronoid through that pack. There's a Pyrus one and there's a Darkest one, and that was it. Even if they did something like that, Spin Master, please, man. We gotta see these Bakugan that haven't been made, man. We gotta see Tico, like, get an actual ball form, because it didn't even get a fusion with this season. Like, come on, man. Gotta see Tico. Gorillion now. Gotta see Gorillion. It's so sick. I love the design for it. And imagine it having an actual figure. Just like, same thing with Tico. Oh man, I wanna see those two made so bad. Tico, Gorillion, Artulian, another one that wasn't made. You know, didn't even get a fusion or such. I mean, Apollyon, at least we're getting reference or homage to that. You know, Claptor X Apollyon, so that's there. You know, the closest thing we got, but still, we at least get a kind of a figure for Apollyon. But definitely Artulian, Tico, and now Gorillion. Definitely make a figure of them, please, because like it would be so pointless to like have these amazing Bakugan come in and you can't even get a figure for them, man. Like this thing just sent Sabris flying. It's got some serious power. I'd love to use that as an actual Bakugan. Its design is amazing, and it seems so cool already, man. It has to be like a crazy ancient golden Bakugan that's just awakened. But yeah, because Tico's not even awakened, and I hope we get Tico awakened. Like, come on, man. Come on. I really want to see a figure for the Bakugan they haven't made figures for yet. But yeah, dude, it's got me like through the roof, hype-wise, for the rest of the season. Because you know that his big goal, that being Havoc's big goal now, is getting the last piece that he's missing. So he's got Sabris, which has 5 factions. He's still looking for Golden Bakugan because he's been looking for them big time in the past. You know that they're going to come back together like McHugh, Sophie, Everett, Storm. They're all going to come back together with Havoc for sure. And this is going to be the final showdown where some of them will obviously get saved, like probably to break the influence of Havoc's power over all of them. But Sabris is going to be a beast, and then he's going to get what he wants, and he's going to be going after Pyravian, because we got fusions for Goreen, Pegatrix Goreen, got one with Trino, Hydra's Trino, Tico's still in slumber, and definitely has to wake up at some point, man, and I really hope Spin Master make a figure on it, please, man, even if it's just the Arliss one, like, come on, you got to make a figure on it. Same thing with Gorillion now, and honestly, Artulian too. Yeah, this is wild, dude. The last one obviously being Pyravian, and we know how that's gonna go. Havoc's about to go on an absolute tear, and it's gonna be wild to see how the rest of the series goes. But yeah, man, definitely let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments below. It is wild. It's so hype, and I love the story for this season. Season 1 was amazing. The storytelling with this season, and especially at this point, is amazing as well. Big time props, Spin Master. Yeah, man, we almost got all the pieces. Like, obviously, the toy's doing well. The show's doing really well. TCG support, I know I mentioned it, but, like, has to be mentioned too. But 2021 is looking very bright. I hope everything does go through, and if so, 2021 could be the best year for Bakugan. I'm not saying these 2 years haven't been amazing. They have. But obviously, like, the TCG support and such. But having that up there, too, perfection. Yeah. But anyways, guys, that is it for this episode review. Absolutely wild, man. I'm so hyped to see how the rest of the season's going to go. And also going into Geogun Rising. Or Geogun Rising. I don't know. I'll remember it after we hear the theme song more. I've heard it once, you know. But anyways, hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, be sure to slice that like button down below. Let me know how I did. If you're new to my channel, definitely be sure to subscribe for some epic content because I upload daily. And if you haven't already, be sure to ring that bell by my channel name to be notified whenever I upload a video. So yeah, guys, until next time, it is your boy Kimbo signing off. See you guys later. Thanks so much for watching. Until then, stay awesome and Bakugan Brawl! I'm up out of here.